As the greatest Italian plumber of all time famously says, "Let's go." Our first question is, how did cheetahs run so fast? The fastest cheetah in a zoo was Sarah, who lived at the Cincinnati Zoo and ran 61 miles per hour in 2012. But how exactly do cheetahs run fast enough to eclipse even Usain Bolt? Great adaptations, my dear Watson. They possess remarkably flexible spines, ones which allow their front legs to stretch far forward with each stride, dull claws that can't fully retract act like cleats and give them more traction, and don't get me started on the enlarged nostrils, lungs, and hearts which allow the cats to majorly exert themselves. However, with great speed comes great cost. Cheetahs are physically disadvantaged when compared to other predators like lions and hyenas, and are often vulnerable to attacks. Life in the fast lane isn't always as easy as celebrities like Lightning McQueen would have you believe. Our second question is, why do cheetahs have spots? When most people think of spotted animals, cheetahs are probably one of the first to come to mind. In fact, the word cheetah is thought to come from a Hindu term meaning spotted one. That said, not all cheetahs are traditionally spotted, and at times, super cool genetic mutations result in quote-unquote king cheetahs, which have stripes running along their backs, or even quote-unquote spotless cheetahs, which look like bad AI imagery and actually do have tiny freckle-like spots but appear spotless from far away. Nevertheless, most cheetahs do have about 2,000 tiny black spots, and the reason is actually quite simple. Camouflage. The spots, which are actually true spots by the way and not the unnecessarily complex rosettes leopards and jaguars have, are thought to offset shadows in the grasses cheetahs are often stalking through. Our third question is, can cheetahs roar? Much like how moviegoers are either fans of Marvel or A24 but never both, in the world of cats, roaring and purring are mutually exclusive vocalizations. But why is that, and which do cheetahs produce? Well, roaring cats have thick pads of tissue on their vocal cords, allowing them to produce loud, low-pitched sounds known as, well, roars. Purring cats, meanwhile, lack these thick pads, as their vocal cords vibrate much more rapidly, enabling them to purr but not roar. So where do cheetahs fall? Well, only 4 cat species can roar, and cheetahs, along with the overweight tabby sitting on your lap right now, aren't actually not among them. Lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars are the roaring cats, and the remaining 35 or so species are purrs. This includes cheetahs, which can also chirp, hiss, and snarl, among other vocalizations. Our fourth question is, are cheetahs nocturnal? Most felines are nocturnal predators, as is evident by your house cat's rather annoying 2 a.m. zoomies. Cheetahs, however, said screw that and are predominantly diurnal or most active during the daytime. They typically hunt in the early morning and late afternoon, as they are largely visual hunters relying on their superb eyesight, which lacks a decent night mode, to spot prey. One advantage of being daytime hunters is they're less likely to compete with larger, more nocturnal, less mannerly cats like lions and leopards. However, some conservationists fear climate change may drive cheetahs to become more active around dawn and dusk to avoid extremely hot daytime weather, setting them up for more potential conflicts with these rival predators. That's one versus movie I'd rather not see. Our fifth question is, are cheetahs endangered? Cheetahs, once widespread across much of Africa and southwestern Asia, are now found in less than 25% of their historic range. They have been shown to be particularly vulnerable to habitat loss and fragmentation, and ranchers sometimes shoot them because the cats occasionally feed on livestock. So while not technically listed as endangered, cheetahs are definitely not doing so hot. Fortunately, conservation efforts are underway. The Cheetah Conservation Fund, or CCF for example, has helped drastically reduce cheetah rancher tensions in Namibia by giving the ranchers Attolian shepherds to protect their livestock. The dogs are fiercely protective of the livestock, and the cheetahs certainly aren't about to argue. Zoos around the world also play an important role in securing a future for cheetahs. For example, since 1972, over 240 cheetah cubs have been born at Oregon's Wildlife Safari alone. The park is accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and partakes in the all-important Cheetah Species Survival Plan, which seeks to ensure the cheetah's long-term survival. Now I know you might be thinking, that's all fine and dandy, Tyler, but how can I help cheetahs? Well, I'm glad you asked, because you can donate to organizations like the CCF, you can visit accredited zoos housing the species, and you can even merely educate others about the dire threats cheetahs are facing. All that is to say, I genuinely believe we can help cheetahs if we all work together.